want to welcome everyone to another episode of Poker Time. We're playing 5-10 here. That's Blake.
He's got ace-3 suited. He's going to play ace-3 suited.
Yeah, we know enough about Blake. This is a guarantee.
Ken has ace-3 offsuit. He might play this.
Yep.
Although he's in the middle of a conversation, so.
That makes it tougher.
I was hoping that king
Joseph all Yankeed out still. There's Johnnie Vibes, vlogger extraordinaire. Quite nice guy as well.
Yeah. He's just going to bet bigger. He's just going to bet bigger.
Looks like we got a limp pot. Wonka gets to check the queen 4 off. What a joy. Sick. Blake flops a 3. And other things also are flopped that are backdoor related. And Wheel's going to just lead into it.
For how much? Is that 15?
20.
Blake is going to raise it on up with middle pair.
Strange play.
Top kicker.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to get a call here from Wheel.
There's Joseph.
There's Stuart just thinking about it, man.
He's like,
and
is Wheel going to call?
Going to call.
Stuart's like, Wheel's got 9-6 off. Why
Going
did he call?
What is happening? He doesn't even have a heart in his hand.
Why did Wheel call? Is he going to rep the hearts now?
I mean, it's time to rep the hearts, isn't it? He was hoping for an 8 to turn open-ended.
Did he think he had a straight draw?
How could he think he has a straight draw? He's 9-6.
It's like 7 comes after 4, right?
And he folds.
That was weird.
That was very confusing.
It was also weird that Blake bet the turn.
Yes. I think Blake was bluffing and trying to fold out a 7 on the turn maybe when the heart comes.
Sure.
Let's go with that. Let's all get together and go with that.
I feel like I'm in the twilight zone after that hand.
That was really... Is it possible we got the hands wrong? No.
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 It's dark at this angle, too. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It really helps for the videos.
Yeah.
Bets 20, calls the raise. Check folds the turn. Okay, sure. What do I know? I don't know anything. I'm just an observer.
You're talking a lot for an observer.
That's
Yeah.
why they have to keep it dim, because she's too sparkly.
That hand put me in a weird mood. This is going to be a weird episode.
Oh, boy. I'm loving it already. Here we go. The Destroyer of Worlds folds. You may ask, why do we call him that? Because he always wins, always, always.
Yep. The Digital one.
And he wins big, usually.
King 9 suited. Johnny's going to raise it up to 100. With ace 5 suited.
Oh, a little bit of a move there with Johnnie Vibes.
It's, pretty standard 3-bet light hand.
Sure. But, a lot of guys in this game don't do that.
Yeah.
That's not super shocking that Johnnie Vibes does. And Dan's going to call.
You see Wonka do that a lot with the
Yes.
ace wheels.
Yes, we do. The digital one calls and flops middle pair.
So Vibes is probably going to get a little value here.
Will Vibes bet this? Or
there's
will
a
he
bunch
check
of guys
back?
who aren't in the hand, and there they are.
Vibes might just check this back. No, it looks like he is going to bet.
I like betting. It's supposed to be a range advantage board for him. So even though he has kind of a weak ace, it's good to bet because you can get value from hands like King, Queen, King, Jack, King 10, although you wouldn't necessarily expect King 9.
You can also get value from gut shots and, of course, clubs. And that's probably it.
And Johnny's got the backdoor steel wheel draw.
I would expect Johnny to check a lot of turns here, including this one. Let's
8
see
of
if he
spades.
does. I guess he could bet really small to check back the river. But I expect him more often to check and try and induce.
You could bet to charge clubs. That's a reason to bet.
Oh, he's going to bet,
It looks like he is. 415 in the pot. How much is he going to go? It looks like about half pot, a little bit more.
This has got to be the last chips he's planning on putting in this pot unless he improves, though.
Yes. I can't imagine betting a third time. Now, Dan probably is going to fold here, yeah. So that's a bit of an indictment on that bet. Although I guess it would have the effect of charging clubs.
Yeah. He's trying to charge clubs and fold out the gut shots.
Yeah.
Instead of giving them infinite odds by checking back.
Although you would think a lot of the gut shots might choose to check raise the flop.
I mean, I think you might choose to check raise the flop with those hands, but
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of the players in this game might.
That's true.
So I think Johnnie Vibes is correct in thinking there could be gut shots there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is the digital one really going to check raise Jack 10 that often there? I don't think so.
He shows up with weird stuff sometimes.
Sure, but most of the time he doesn't show up with weird stuff.
Stop talking.
This is going to be a great session
Yeah.
to commentate.
Joseph has ace king offsuit.
I'll take
Yep.
And a love for Aaron Boone. Probably.
Joseph carefully counts out a raise. Ooh, it's a sizable one. There is, of course, the blind raise from Stuart under the gun.
It wasn't a particularly careful count out of the raise. I don't know why you chose to
It's careful and thoughtful. Here's Blake, who's thinking about it with ace 7 off.
tenderly calling.
He is going to call.
With a gentle...
Super dominated, not just dominated.
He calls with a gentle whisper.
What? All right, ace-7 against ace-king.
I don't know about this call, Blake.
And Blake does flop overs and a gutter. He's not going to fold on this flop. I'll tell you what. He's also got the ace of hearts.
He does.
Ooh, heart would be brutal. Goes
Joseph
check.
checks back. That queen is usually better for Joseph than it is for Blake. Blake checks again.
Joseph could check. He could bet. He does check again. This is reasonable.
I
Anyway.
wonder if Joseph will fold to anything. He might just call anything on the river if Blake bets.
Blake. Oh, it's going to be easy.
We're just going to
now
check.
for Joseph.
Easy ace-king win.
I mean, Blake can't really beat anything except King Jack here on the river, right?
Yeah, and Joseph usually is going to bet king high, you would think.
Somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
I agree.
That
But
was-
it's possible Blake wasn't going to be able to win on the river anyway. He probably would have had to bet 2 streets. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not sure, actually. That river, I mean, the board is not good for Joseph if Blake bets the river, right?
No. I mean, Blake could have a 10.
Sure. Blake could have a small pair.
Yeah. Although you'd usually bet the turn with that.
When the queen comes, he
maybe,
might check.
Maybe not.
He might check. I'm surprised he didn't bet the turn, honestly, with the gutter and the overs. I mean, I know the queen came, but I'm surprised he didn't just bet it anyway.
It's like a 3-minute drive. I mean, not 3 minutes. It's probably like
Not a lot of damage there.
half to drive the driveway. 'Cause we don't.
Minimal.
Because we go slow now because.
But more than it had to be.
That's true. That's true. Joseph not blind raising. Stuart's blind raising every time.
I did not.
I don't know if anyone else is, but what does he care? He's got that shirt.
Sure.
There's Johnnie Vibes.
Yeah, we know. We've seen him before.
Just pointing him out.
Raise
Wheels got a nice hand.
35.
Blake is going to call.
With any 2 cards, as we know, he lost the last hand. And as you can see, it's definitely
Wow.
any 2 cards.
Legitimately any 2
I
cards.
really didn't know that's the hand he had when I said that.
Yeah,
before.
no. I believe you. Came up after. Wow.
The theory of Blake playing every hand after he loses a pot it seems true.
Yeah, I mean, we noticed it at the beginning of this session, like 3 episodes ago, and it seems to have held.
Now he's made a pair against Wheels' top pair. He can't fold yet, right? He's made a pair.
I mean, he absolutely can fold. He's got
can.
7 deuce on this board 3 ways. He can fold. He can call if he wants, but he can absolutely fold.
Well, in the Blake matrix, you can't fold.
Of course, he's going to raise.
Yeah.
He's going to check it back, click it back, excuse me. And,
A little bit more than the click back, but not a lot.
oh, you're right. It's a little bit more. I thought it was 160 when he put it out. This is an easy call, of course, for Wheel with top pair. Although you don't love it.
No, this is not the happiest moment.
But still, top pair is way too good to fold, especially to Blake, because as we know, Blake likes to raise 1 pair of hands. There's your call.
We'd like to have ace king instead, though, because if Blake likes to raise top pair a lot, we'd like to have a better king.
We would.
The jack is not the best card for Wheel, considering that most players are not going to raise middle pair, but Blake might.
Blake might, that's true. Wheel's going to just lead, it looks like.
I don't
This is a
like this idea.
questionable bet.
Okay, he checks.
there
He's
we
doing
go.
the thing where he doesn't want Blake to bet.
Yeah, he's trying to dissuade Blake. Blake, it looks like, either picked up on that or was betting anyway, because here he comes.
260.
But I think our hand is just too good, like, especially against Blake on this what a flop to fold.
Yeah, you got to call.
There's, I mean, diamonds, queen 10, gut shots, worse kings. Blake can absolutely have a worse king here.
And Wheel is supposed to have more jacks than Blake as played on the flop, if the ranges were traditional, which perhaps they are not.
Yeah, I think they're probably not. Still, this is not a great card for Wheel. There's a lot of bad cards, though. This is one of the better ones, I guess, of the bad cards, at least. There's the range of cards you don't want to see. This is a deuce is even better, but besides that, it's probably a jack.
We could see that Blake only has 1 out here because somebody did fold a deuce. If Wheel
But-
could see that, he wouldn't be doing what he's about to do.
There's his other out, because Wheel's out of the hand.
I think it's good though.
Blake shows it.
Ooh, that's going to hurt.
Nick's disappointed in that one though.
Blake turns a flop pair into a bluff, and it all works out.
Look at the quiet rage of Wheel.
They gave him a raw deal. Nobody gives him a raw deal.
You know what? Joseph just gets it.
Blake is so happy.
Yep.
I think Jay over there had a very big draw.
Oh, he decided Jay had a draw.
Everything draw but a draw.
A very big draw. Like,
Jay is Wheel, by the way.
yeah. A very big draw would be like flush and straight draws,
That's
right?
that's a hand that you wouldn't fold.
He 100% wouldn't fold, but I guess Blake wanted to charge him for it is the point.
Yeah.
Of course, since he said he had a very big draw after he folded,
We
so
agreed $400.
I don't know anymore.
Isn't that right? I heard that. Oh, we'll check the mics later. It's fine.
Fold.
Well, Wheel's doing the Blake move. Lost the hand, play the next.
A lot of people do this.
It's just a form of tilt.
Yep.
Blake's just the most consistent at it that we've noticed, I guess.
Sort of the opposite Doyle. Doyle used to play the next hand after he won a hand every time.
Yep.
These
Well,
guys
because
are playing.
Doyle believes in the streaks.
No one has anything.
This is a
right?
terrible flop for everybody. Can we just get to the next hand already,
Well, let's
Jonathan?
get to the turn at least.
I'm bored.
Well, someone now may try and steal it. Let's see.
Wheel can't really rep a queen, but he can rep a
can rep a
hand,
9.
a 9 or 10s or maybe even 8s.
That's 60.
Hands like that.
Yeah, you can easily have 2 10s.
Although Ken is not interested in folding.
Ken's
He's
raising. Wow. Ken's just like, you don't have a queen, right?
He's right. I mean, Wheel almost never has a queen. When that flop comes, he doesn't bet into 2 players.
But Ken almost never has a queen either. Ken almost never checks back
right,
a
but
queen.
Ken doesn't care.
Yeah, it's true.
Ken's like, what are you going to do about it?
He's right. He's right. And that's exactly right. And in fact, he had the best hand.
Yeah?
But
It was not for value.
this is the thing, though. The Destroyer of Worlds makes plays at people. It's weird. Sometimes he's super tight. Sometimes he's crazy. He's all gears at all times.
Is that
He's
possible?
a chameleon.
Is it possible to be all gears
You ever
at
see
all
the,
times?
You ever see the movie The Saint?
Of
Val
course.
Kilmer?
That's my favorite movie.
Of course, Elizabeth Shue's in it as well.
Cold Fusion.
And let me just say, the Saint, you never know who he is. He's got all these different
It
disguises.
could be a choir boy.
These different masks.
He could be a street performer.
This is the Destroyer of Worlds now.
He could be a policeman who looks a lot like Val Kilmer.
Is he the greatest spy in the world? Or is he one who destroys
I remember the
worlds?
day. I don't remember his
He's
name,
both.
Yeah, but that guy.
Yeah.
To my left. Like,
Yeah.
You and I played.
We're making a movie.
though. Yeah.
Small pair was good.
This is good enough to raise the button with.
Absolutely. I don't know why I did that.
Me neither.
Just decided to change the word absolutely.
Maybe we'll just take that microphone away from you for a little while.
That would be fine.
Get him, Stuart. Just a couple days earlier.
Yeah.
Stuart gets to win a hand. This is the first time we've seen him win a hand in quite some time. So that's got to feel just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like those $15.
It feels like a daiquiri on a warm summer day.
If you like daiquiris, I guess. Ken, as we said, destroying worlds up 3 times as much as the next guy, Joseph. How about that? Stuart is the big loser so far in the game.
Johnnie Vibes, our vlogger, is up a decent amount. 49 blinds. That's not a bad book so far.
Yeah, it's still relatively early. We're about halfway through the session.
Wheel opening the queen jack off under the gun. Loosening up a bit.
Yep. Well, he's got to feel like he's getting run over a little bit, and in fact, he is.
He is. He is. Blake just calling with the 9s, which is reasonable under the gun raise.
Yep.
And Ken is like, I'm going to win. I have jack 6.
Yeah.
What are you going to do
I mean,
about
Ken
it?
makes everything work because everyone always seems to fold to this guy. It's super weird to me.
Except he did get bluffed in a big way by Joseph on the last hand of our last
That
episode.
is true. That's true. But he doesn't know it.
So he's, in his mind, still the destroyer of worlds.
Yeah. And in fact, he is. He's the big winner
Yeah.
of the game, as usual.
But Joseph took a little chunk.
Yeah, he did. That's true.
Fold, fold.
Well, Queen Jack's not doing horribly against these hands for Wheel as the under
Yeah,
the gun raiser.
really.
He actually has the most equity.
It was just the wrong combination of cards.
I feel like 270, and it just doesn't feel like.
And now Blake's got the most equity, and I don't believe Ken will be folding.
Yep, it's going to be a Blake v. Ken match, it seems.
Blake's going to go ahead and lead, which is perfectly good.
That's 110.
110, it looks like. Does Ken raise or call here? I've seen him do both.
Yeah. Blake isn't leading, by the way. Wheel check to him.
Right, sure. He's betting when he was not the aggressor.
Yeah, but it was check to him.
Yeah.
So
So, I don't
he's
know.
now betting his hand. He's
Betting when he was not the aggressor feels different.
just- okay,
I don't
it's
know.
Certainly not leading, though, right?
He's begressoring.
Okay.
I made a new word.
Yeah. Let's see if Ken always gets there. Yep.
Well, yeah, he's got a spade draw now, and we know he's going to hit a 6, not the spade draw.
it's like 100%, right? Blake has the 9 of spades, which will block spades a
I
little
like
bit.
that Blake's betting again here.
Yeah, me too.
It's
That
very
queen-
unlikely that the queen helped Ken.
Yep.
Blake usually still has the best hand, and he can get value from 7s and 6s.
Ken really does have to call here, too.
Yeah,
For sure.
of course, with the spade draw.
And the pair. He could have the best hand, especially against Blake. If not, he's got some backup. There
and
it is.
of course,
Like we said, he always gets there. He's a destroyer of worlds.
this is a death card for Blake,
Yeah.
and I imagine he'll find a fold when Ken bets here.
I mean, it's not as much of a death card as you would think.
Well, no, but it doesn't feel good, does it? Like,
It doesn't feel good. But
what is
like,
Ken betting? A 7?
What aces does Ken have? Ace 7? Ace 6? I mean, there's very few aces he's really supposed to show up with.
Yeah,
here.
but he's not betting a 7 or a 6, right?
Right, no, he's betting his missed straight draw.
Yeah, he has to have 8, 9, I guess, or 4, 5.
Blake doesn't love it because Ken didn't really size it up, but
He bet quickly.
yeah. Bet a little more than half the pot.
Blake has heroed Ken a couple times already and has been wrong every time.
Yeah, Blake does not like to fold in these spots. Let's see if he does here. So he can find his way out of this one.
It would be reasonable to call.
Yep, I agree. I really might. I think I would call here. This story does not make a lot of sense. He didn't go backdoor spades. What's he supposed to have? And there's the call.
Bad news again, Blake. That is the look of a defeated man.
Yeah.
Nice hand.
How did this happen? How did this guy call pre-flop?
I mean, Blake's not allowed to ask that question.
You are correct. But often players do.
Yes.
Players, who make those calls themselves. They often criticize other people's similar calls.
But Blake is
pre-flop.
not that guy. Blake's
No, that's true.
actually
No, he's not.
gracious, nice guy.
Indeed.
So what was it? Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That was pretty brutal.
Yep. That was pretty brutal. Blake made a hero call on a spot. By the way, Ken does not always have to have it. We've seen him really not have it.
And he could just have a 6 and be turning it into a bluff.
He
We've
could
seen
have
him-
the straight draw and be turning it into a bluff.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just
obviously,
expanding his
turning it
bluffing
into-
range.
Yeah, sorry. Of course, it's a bluff. It would always be a bluff there. But no, you're right. Like, he has bluffs there. He doesn't have that much value. I think it's a reasonable call. It just didn't work.
All right. Blake is doing the thing.
I mean, he lost the last hand, so he's got to play this one. He's at 100%.
It might be 100%.
I think it's literally 100% for the 4 episodes we've done so far. Well, I'm sure someone, James Fondren, maybe will go back and check and let us know.
Call.
We need an actuary.
Call.
All right, 3 ways, reasonable hands. And Blake's going to flop best, but no one loves
It's
it.
a terrible flop for everybody, honestly.
Check.
Let's see if Joseph takes a shot. He probably should. 2 5s here, just bluff.
I mean, he has the most aces, so yeah.
It's also a wet board. Let's see if Blake calls. I expect Blake's going to call at least once.
Yep.
It's only 45, actually. He's really supposed to. He even has the 9 of spades. I mean, come on. Ooh.
Well, that would have been a set.
Yep. But what's he going to do? There's no money to win in this pot anyway. This pot shouldn't get much bigger.
3. That's in your range.
Check.
Float that flop.
Are you saying?
Ooh, opportunities for both players to bluff here.
Joseph likes to bluff these spots. There's Johnnie Vibes.
Yep.
Observing.
Paying attention. There's the board.
It's a jack of hearts in the river. Oh, looks like there was a bet from Blake and Joseph folded. So Blake decided to turn his hand into a bluff.
Yeah, which is reasonable. I don't hate that.
Yeah.
And turns out he had the best hand, but he didn't know that. And I tend to not rate to be the best hand
Just so you
that
know, I
often.
was ahead of you when you folded, so you made the right choice.
Like Joseph has a lot of kings
Pocket
when he
threes are
checks
good.
back the turn and stuff like that.
Pocket threes on ace, king.
Blake's under the gun, but he's already blind raised.
Don't like that board.
He made it 25.
He won the last hand, but I guess he's blind raising, so it's a little different,
Yeah.
maybe?
I guess it might not have been possible.
Yeah, because he'd normally limp
Someone may
Right.
have
with whatever he has.
23.
There's Ken. He looks so gentle, right? He looks like, he'd be a friendly guy.
Yeah, but he will destroy you.
He will eat your soul. Start making another fold.
Fold.
Dan could have considered trying to steal with that hand.
Vibes is going to steal with this hand.
Yeah, I don't know if Blake's a good candidate to steal the blind raise from.
I mean, you're not trying to steal. You're trying to build a pot and win
Sure,
later. Where
sure.
you can. This is a reasonable hand against the massive range Blake's going to call against.
Right, and Blake has a reasonable hand here himself.
Yep.
Nobody flops anything. Blake has a backdoor draw.
Yep.
Check.
See what Vibes does here. If he's going to.
Vibes has a backdoor draw too, but it's not as fun.
Vibes is going to bet.
He's supposed to bet this flop
Yep.
for sure.
He bets tiny. I love it. Looks like trip aces. And
Blake calls.
Blake is, I guess, going to make a move. Did he just already check?
Yep. Well, he
Wow, and he takes
makes the best
lead.
hand, but Vibes picks up a gut shot.
How can Vibes bet again?
I mean, he can have the aces, and Blake really doesn't a lot when he dark checks especially.
He does continue. Wow. And Blake calls. This hand is great. What's going to happen on the river? Give us a brick river. There you go.
Oh, well, now
Blake's now going to call.
Now
yeah.
Vibes is going to feel like he can't bluff.
Yeah. Because now he thinks he can't get Blake off at 10.
I would never try to get someone to fold a full house.
There you go.
I'm going to check.
I have full.
Good job, Johnny Vibes.
Just over 14K in the pot. The turn is the 4 of diamonds.
Hey, what is that? Speaking of turn, coming around the mountain? Is that the Nitrogen Sports Poker train?
I think they did buy a train recently.
If you listen, you can hear its very familiar jingle. And choo-choo. Wait, there's the jingle. Nitro, nitro, nitro. Nitro, nitro, nitro.
Wow, that's the weirdest ad ever all of a sudden. Anyway, Nitrogen Sports Poker Room is, they let us do ads like this.
They
perhaps
do.
because they don't listen to them.
Free reign, baby. Nitro, nitro, nitro. Nitro, nitro, nitro.
Johnny looks dead inside right now. Look at him.
It's like that tiny bet's supposed to work
Yeah.
against people, but it did not work.
Nope.
I got called by 9 high
Well,
and
he had
lost
the
hand.
backdoor straight flush draw.
The really good ones, if your name's
This is exactly the kind of hand that's supposed to fold when you bet $50. So sorry there, Johnny. Welcome to the game.
35.
Welcome to poker time.
You know, my favorite thing that Jonathan says on the Poker Time episodes is, he's getting a pretty good price.
Dan's got a nice hand.
He's like, oh, he should fold her. He calls, well, he's getting a pretty good price.
105. Dan's going to raise it up with the 7-6 suited.
I like it.
I don't think Ken's going to fold.
King 10 off, he's supposed to. That's
I know.
what I'll say.
I know he's supposed to.
I'm just saying he's supposed to.
I don't think he's gonna.
Ken. Ken. You have King 10 off. Out of position. He's re-raising you under the gun. Ken, no! Ken, turns out you're in good shape.
And Joseph now is kind of obligated to
Yeah.
call.
Now
Especially 'cause
Joseph-
everybody's pretty deep.
Yep. His hand is pretty crapalicious, but he is still
I
probably
mean, it's
supposed to call.
suited.
Yeah, that's right. It's suited.
He's got Dan in big trouble.
That too. 6-6 king. Let's go.
So sick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Joseph.
He not only has top 2, he also has the backdoor flush draw.
Yep.
And Dan has a 6.
So Dan should continue here, even though he has a pair.
Yeah, there's
And
too
he's
many
got-
bad cards.
Yeah. There's so many bad cards. He's going to get bluffed a million times out of a million if someone bets later. So I like continuing here. He really is bluffing, even though he's got middle pair. It's a weird spot, but
It's mostly protection, I think.
Yeah.
More than a bluff.
fair enough. Yeah, he's not trying to get a better hand to fold. You're right. It's protection. I mean, 2 7s exactly might fold, but he's got 2 7s in his hand. 2 8s would consider folding, I guess.
I don't think Joseph would fold those hands. Maybe Ken. Well, Ken probably wouldn't, but
No,
maybe
Ken
Ken
doesn't, yeah.
should
Yeah,
in
Ken-
his position.
Joseph. Yep, Joseph shows his teeth right away.
This is a good spot for a raise because there are a lot of draws out there,
Yeah.
and Joseph could have all of them.
7 8 and diamonds, even some of the gut shots.
Yep.
I mean, is Dan supposed to just throw his hand away here?
No, I think he's supposed to call because
Yeah.
there are so many draw combos.
I agree. Of course, we have to think about the long range plan here with this hand. Are we going to call here and call turn and river?
Yeah, I understand, but at the same point, Joseph's repping 2 pair or better. It's hard to put him on 9-6.
Yep.
We block a set of 6s, and it's unlikely he has a set of 9s based on pre-flop action. He's going to 3-bet some of the time.
It's mostly deuce deuce.
Yeah.
You're right. So that's a really good reason to call, I guess. And everything else we should be doing pretty well against. So I like this call.
I do too.
And we're just going to have to figure it out on the turn.
Although Dan is drawing basically dead. And now he picks up a draw, but now Joseph has the flush draw with top 2 pair.
Let's see how Joseph sizes this.
Gotta love having the flush draw with top 2 pair.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. It's like, I don't care what you have.
Oh, he moves
Oh,
in.
wow.
Trying to make it look like he's got the king 10 of diamonds or something.
Wow.
I kind of love it.
1.4 to call.
Dan has to call with an overpair, right?
Yeah, I think he's supposed
So
to.
I love this
I
play.
think he's supposed to call with an overpair.
This is a great shove from Joseph. I don't know if it's going to work out against this hand.
Now, what Dan should be thinking about, I don't know what he is thinking about. He should be thinking about distribution here a little bit. And,
Sure.
And sort of realize that 7-6 is among the worst hands he's ever going to call a raise with on the
And he lets
flop
it go.
and be here. I like
That's
this
a-
fold.
That's a good fold and a good shove, I think.
Yep.
Big pot.
I mean, it looked bigger than it was.
Yeah, it was
moved
1.1K
it.
when
Yeah.
he moved it.
But yeah, he was trying to get called by aces there.
Any overpair really is supposed to call it.
Sure. Sure. Dan's hoping he wasn't bluffed.
I mean, he could be, but even against the bluffs, he doesn't have huge equity.
But, it's equity you'd be thrilled to take. It's
Sure.
65% or something.
Have you?
So
You haven't lost any of them yet.
It works
You
until
haven't-
it
you
doesn't.
haven't- no, you haven't
It
been
works
called
until
yet.
it doesn't. That's what they say. Yeah. I just want to win the last one.
You don't want Ken to be the one that you lose to because he has.
All right, let's see how Stewart does with ace-jack under the gun.
He's going to play it. He's played very few hands
35.
of late. So I think he's happy to get something that's reasonably playable.
I mean, it's completely reasonable to play ace-jack off under the gun, especially 8-handed. It's just a hand that you could fold if you wanted to.
and at this table,
Yeah.
where you're going to get looser calls. Is that a re-raise?
Yes, it is. A
280.
very small re-raise.
Wow.
Just trying to get heads up, I guess.
Yeah, it worked. Not so bad, actually. That works reasonably well.
And Stewart's not going to 4-bet most of the time here with ace-jack.
Stewart is obligated to call and not love it, basically.
Call.
Yep. Stewart's kind of praying to flop 2 pair. It's hard to do.
It's pretty tough to flop 2 pair.
No, that's right. You were the free. Yeah, you were the
Stewart does not flop 2 pair.
However, he is certainly going to call if
Yeah.
wheel continues here.
Wheel's going to continue. I like this continue. You can get 10s and 9s and jacks potentially to fold.
And you just want to get rid of the king, queen of diamonds and hands like that.
Sure. So it really has to call once. The turn could get a little sticky though, a little tough to play if he's facing another barrel.
That's not a very scary card, so if wheel bets again, he is repping mostly better than ace-jack.
Yeah, he's repping the ace kings of the world. He's at least counting it out. Now we've seen him do this before and then check, but he is firing.
And that was a pretty quick fire as well. I wonder if that is more indicative of a bluff.
Stewart's thinking about it here.
I don't think Stewart can fold yet. I just don't.
He's really trying to decide what to do. You could call here and fold a lot of river barrels, but you sort of hate to put yourself in spots where you go call, fold as a general line. But this hand is probably a little too good. I like this call. It's probably a little too good.
I don't know if wheel can pull the trigger
throw
on the
away.
river either.
I don't think I would.
The 9 is not necessarily a card that hits either player very often.
Wheel's hoping that,
Stewart had a spade drop.
yeah, and he does not. Stewart gets to win. Boy, Stewart is so happy when Wheels is quickly turning over his hand. It means he's got a chance to win it and doesn't have to face another barrel either way.
Yep.
It's like, even if you have ace queen, I really prefer a check here, buddy.
Yeah, because you might call.
Yeah. You know, don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Joseph likes to whisper so we can't hear what he's saying.
Said something about ace king.
Thanks a lot, Joseph.
Just as, busy being a front runner with the Yankees.
Pretty strong. Pretty strong either way.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
You like the Golden State Warriors also? Joseph? Become an Eagles fan just recently?
I think
Joseph?
the only way for you to get it all
I don't
there
know.
was raise smaller.
I don't like the way you're saying his name.
like a king high flop.
Feels mean.
King high flop or something.
Right.
King, queen off, similar to ace-jack off under the gun.
Yep.
Joseph's going to limp it.
Interesting. Very unusual.
We've seen him limp aces under the gun.
Yep.
And he's then gotten the chance to spring the trap, so he may think that he's not going to get raised as frequently as other players when he limps under the gun because he can have the really big hands.
He could also spring the trap again, honestly, with
He
this
can.
hand too, because he
And
worked with aces.
Blake certainly wasn't paying attention to that or doesn't care
Yep.
because he makes it 60 with queen 6 off.
Blake didn't lose the last hand, right?
No. Well, he didn't win it.
Yeah, but he wasn't in. He wasn't in it.
No, he was not.
Stewart's going to call, and now I got to believe we're mostly going to see Joseph just call, but it'd be cool to see a big 3-bet here.
Right. Especially when Blake is the guy raising.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's a
Well-
good flop for Joseph.
Should have 3-bet, Joseph.
That's a very good flop.
And Ken and Blake both have gut shots, so it's possible that, looks like Blake's going to take a shot.
By the way, Ken called with Queen 7 suited, and we're just inured to the whole thing. We're
Yeah,
like,
it's
of
just
course.
normal.
Don't even notice it anymore.
That's just what it is.
Good enough to last.
Ken has a gut shot only, but it is 165 to call to, and I like him getting the hell out of Vicksburg.
Well, yeah, sure. Let's talk about Joseph's action here.
Yeah.
I think I like a raise, even though
Yes.
it's not going to work out well.
It's a raise.
Because Blake can have 2 pair here. He can have a set here.
I mean, if he has ace king or ace queen, he's not folding for
Right.
sure. He can have diamonds.
It's a-
we're going with.
It's a
let's
great
go.
spot for a raise, although it will not work out this time.
Gotta believe. Although it is Blake once in a while. Does
Did he
Joseph
just call?
raise?
I think he just called.
75.
No,
Nope.
he raised.
Blake with only 830 back, he's really gonna have to give this up, and he does. Joseph, the disappointed look.
It's just like, show me ace 10 one time, Blake.
Show me ace king. Any of
Blame the
it.
dealer.
No, no, no. I mean, she's
Just any
my favorite dealer,
Oregonian
you know?
IPA.
I think.
yeah.
I'm drawing for
I
a
have
shot.
Apocalypse and
Yeah, I
Total
thought-
Domination.
I would have probably just flatted.
Diamond, diamond.
Well, no, yeah, because.
I think they got Joe here too, right? Who? They got 10 barrels of Joe. Don't they have that one? Oh yeah, yeah. That's a good beer.
They opened a 10 barrel in San Diego.
Oh really?
Pick line, Joseph.
Beer discussion, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah, you guys have a ton
Oh,
of them.
the Anheuser-Busch bottom?
Really? Oh.
That's Wonka's voice you're hearing.
He talks sometimes. Digital Dan has 3s under the gun. He limps a lot in this spot, but he
But-
raises this time.
Because like Blake can't see that.
Bring me 35 and fast.
35. Fold. Thank you. Fold. Fold.
We know Blake is at least calling with this hand. Yes, call.
Call. Fold.
We're here again, Daniel San.
And it's a classic race.
Based on cards that are folded, I suppose, Blake has all the equity, more than he should.
Someone probably just folded a tray, right?
Yeah. And, we see that the numbers are always right, Jonathan.
And there's Johnnie Vibes taking a picture.
Maybe he's just watching a video. He doesn't have a phone, so he watches videos on his camera.
And so he like downloads the videos onto his camera
Yeah.
from the internet, and then makes a lot of sense. Okay, Dan continues. Blake just calls. I like it. I expect Dan's going to be check folding a lot here.
Yeah,
on
he's
the
just
turn.
going to give up a lot. Beer time.
There's the check.
I've actually never heard of Ninkasi Brewing Company.
Bet 150.
Blake has bet,
Eugene?
and Digital Dan releases.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Why'd you say it like that?
Popular hand over here today.
He releases.
Okay, good. He did do that.
It's not weird.
It's not weird.
So here we go.
Look at the destroyer.
Yep. Digital Dan, the big loser so far. BMW, Blake, and Stewart right there with him, as is Wheel. Wow. There's the haves and the have-nots, but the haves, I mean, Ken is the 1%, right? And Joseph's the upper middle class, and Johnnie Vibes is just sort of,
He's getting by.
yeah.
Paycheck to paycheck.
Destroyer of Worlds, I mean, it's incredible, the run this guy has been on for, I don't know, how many sessions has he played? Like 5 sessions
Something
now?
like that. I think there was at least one where he
He lost a little bit
Yeah.
once. He lost like $1,000 once, but I mean, he's got to be up 15, 20,000 right now on the show, right?
You think that much? I would not. I would take the under on 15,000.
Raise to 40.
He won 5 the first time. He won like 3 or 4 the
I'm
second
gonna go
time.
with,
He's
like-
up 3 right now.
I'm going to go with like
Maybe you're
10,
right.
10 to 12.
Okay, 10. He's up at least 10. Anyway, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wild West rules.
Yeah.
Oh, he folded already? Oh.
Easy win for BMW Blake,
Where the ace was at.
or as he likes to be called, BMW Balake.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I've been in Pendleton and
He's a big fan of Key and Peele.
they have like really crappy,
Ah,
like,
yeah.
whimsy cards.
Substitute teacher.
Yep.
Copeg are like a lot.
I mean, I assume everyone knows what we're talking about. And if they don't,
If they don't, go
get
watch
it
it.
together.
Go watch it right now.
Stop this video and watch something else
Watch
right
Substitute Teacher. It's very funny.
now. Yeah, it's short.
No, they're
And
not.
the second one's good, but the third one's not worth your time. Just if you're going to get into it. Don't fall down the hole. All right.
On the ones they do, though, I
They
think the
have
tables.
like 3
The feature
featured
table.
tables.
Their cards are normal size, though, right?
No, they're like this.
They're kind of like this?
Yeah.
There's
Why would
Wonka.
the bike cards are these?
Just Just sitting around, looking around, whatever.
You're ramping it up, but the Wonka rudeness is ramping up for you.
He hasn't played a hand, so I gotta find something to say.
Look at
about
this. Blake has 8 deuce.
him. Wow.
It's just wide open over here.
Did he lose the last hand?
No, he won it.
Maybe he plays the next hand if he wins or loses.
Oh, you were gone for that comment.
Pay attention to what you say.
You say that a lot. Well, you're like, oh, he should fold here.
getting a good
Well,
price.
he's getting a pretty good price.
Okay.
Well-
The only person who has a diamond is Balake.
Ken has an open ender with a
Yep.
draw to the nut straight.
Well, wheel flopped a straight.
Oh, wheel flop to straight.
So there's
There it
that.
is. I didn't see that.
He's gonna bet.
I don't think Blake will call with his diamond.
I mean, Blake's capable of anything.
He's not going to call.
Okay.
Ken
He's
will.
upset about it.
Ken will at least call, I imagine.
Yeah. He doesn't have to.
No, he
but
doesn't.
He's
with,
going
with
to.
3 diamonds out there and none in his hand.
At least the king makes him the nut straight and could get a 10 in trouble.
But he could be drawing dead right now.
Yep.
You know I'm gonna hit it. So.
King would be death for wheel. And there's a diamond. Ken has been playing super aggressively on any kind of a scary board. Let's see if anything happens here. Well,
Oh, is Wheel
looks
gonna bet
Wheel's gonna
again?
Bet. Okay, so. it's
So
gonna
Wheel's
take-
turning his hand into a bluff.
I'm not sure why.
I had a diamond.
Does he think he's going to fold out a diamond that called on the flop?
Yeah, I don't know about that bet.
I think it's a. Of course, he doesn't want to have to check call, so
Yeah.
he's betting because he doesn't know what else to do.
I would rather,
understand that.
I would rather check call, I think.
Yeah, but I would hate both spots. Both spots are kind of horrible, really. But check calling's got to be better, right?
Yeah.
From just a EV point of view.
Yeah.
Story of Thanksgiving.
Look at this.
They're only dealing for a half hour.
Well, thanks for coughing right into the microphone, Wonka. Maybe Jonathan's right about that guy.
Oh, I'm right about that guy.
They're dealing a half hour.
And maybe there was
You
some
get
bluffing
2
where it
hours
was
off.
like, hey, we're going to have a good party and have lots of
That's
good
not so
food.
A little
Why
less,
don't you take
little
some of
less
these blankets
that way.
home with you?
I think Wonka's talking about genocide. Anyway,
There's Wonka.
all right. So Blake looks like he's gonna play 5 deuce.
He played the last hand and didn't win it, so he's got to open 5 deuce.
Next time I see Blake, I think I'm gonna ask him what makes you choose when to play hands, because I know he folds these hands sometimes. Like, why is he playing them this
He
time?
lost the last hand.
Why did he play 8 deuce last time?
That one I don't have an answer to. But besides that, he lost the last hand.
Stewart has a good hand compared to Blake's.
And Wheel calls with
Yeah.
the ace queen. He definitely could have 3-bet, but it's fine to call.
Interesting flop.
Blake flops a gutter and a pair. Stewart's open-ended with his pair of 4s, and Wheel is he really gonna? And he's gonna lead it.
It is supposed to be the best for his range.
That is true. That's a fair point. It is a very sneaky lead in that, like, cards that would come that would seem to be better for other people's ranges later in the
He got
hand.
raised, so that's
Blake-
not a good feeling.
Nope. Stewart's in an interesting spot here with 2 4s. I guess he can just call.
He can. There are 2 clubs out there, so he might feel like his outs could be dirty.
Yeah, that's true. He has the 4 of clubs, which helps a little bit anyway.
It does help a
Blocks
little
some
bit.
combo draws.
Although you would like your opponent to have the 4 of clubs in their hand with the combo draw. If they had that, then it bricks out. You get to win with a pair.
It's fair. I mean, Blake right now looks like he has an overpair, right? When he
Is this a
raises.
3-bet coming? It is.
Wow.
Stewart is 3-bet. I like that. I didn't even consider that choice, but I like that choice. It is super strong. Now, Wheel could have just flopped a straight. It's possible.
Well, Stewart blocks that, though.
But what do you do as Wheel if you have 3-5 here? You know, it's not a good spot.
You probably have to fold. Looks like Stewart has a set when he raises here.
Yeah.
So it's 315 to call. Blake only has 735 total. He has a pair and a gutter, but it's a bad pair.
And a bad gutter.
Yep. Like, you assume you need to improve, and you're not sure. Like, if you hit the deuce, you could lose because it makes a straight for someone else, as it would here. You hit the 5 is the card you'd most be hoping for.
But you could be still losing.
Yep. A 4 might make you the best hand, but if Stewart has 7-6 or already, say, 4-7.
Or
you're-
7-8 of clubs or something like
just,
that.
This is just a tough spot.
Stewart could have 7 anything of clubs, actually.
Yeah, that's right.
That is...
Well, that's what you hope for, sort of, as Blake in this spot. If you're not gonna fold, right? You
I
kind of want
guess- I
to. You're at least
guess.
beating 7 anything of clubs. It's not, I mean, but you don't have good equity against anything.
No.
there, right?
Except for 4s.
Against 4 is actually doing great.
I really like this table, by the way. I like the way that it's like
shape?
shaped. Because it's like in the 5 seat, it's always the worst.
Johnny likes the shape of the table.
Blake's really thinking about this.
There should be a shove or fold
If
spot.
he's a lot deeper, you could at least consider calling, although I don't think I would call probably no matter how deep
I think this is a
was.
pretty clear fold no matter what.
Yeah. Maybe if you're super short, like super short, you have another $100 behind, you could decide to throw it in, but I think this is a fold no matter what. I agree. Blake's thinking about it, though. Blake does not like to fold. Let's be clear.
That is accurate.
He's not interested in folding. And as you see,
Which is a little bit of a reason that, although I like Stewart's play outside of opponent-dependent stuff, Blake might not be the guy to do it against.
yeah, it seems like it, since Blake just called right here.
Rich people.
But that is a terrifying card for Blake.
Now Stewart picks up a lot more outs because he has
Yeah.
the only club in the hand.
Blake has checked. Does Stewart want to shove Blake's remaining 420? Blake already just called this big raise, but a death card came, a really scary card.
Yeah, but that could be Blake, too. Blake
Yeah.
could have hit that.
It could have, but he often might just shove it himself.
And it goes
on
check,
the flop.
check. I think Stewart's just going to check it down, and that's not going to be happy times for him.
Blake checks again. Blake's praying he has the best hand. Stewart thinks, I guess once in a while. I mean, how is Stewart ever winning?
He's not.
Blake has 7-8 when he was ahead before. He does check. He turns it over, and
I can beat that.
let's watch the reaction.
Jeez.
Perfect.
Gutter ball.
He's looking for sword.
Fuck me. I was hoping that was
That's a reaction.
There it is.
Get them.